Later tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel, a tiny Indiana town with a high school basketball team battling all the odds to get to the state championship. Not the movie, but the real thing. Later tonight on Nightline. From ABC, this has been World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Two men on death row for murder, though the body was never identified. As the electric chair drew near, she was ID'd as Linda Gale Bradshaw. Now they're free because they pleaded guilty.
Watch A Current Affair tonight at 6:30 on Channel 5.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, a repeat performance by protesters rallying in Uptown in Minneapolis, but without the support of three major groups. We'll tell you what's changed and why in team coverage tonight.
While in St. Paul, neighbors are protesting the actions of a porn theater complex owner. We'll take you live there, too. And take a spring break and come to Lauderdale with us. It's closer than you think.
Welcome to Lauderdale. You guys tourists?
No.
And don't miss the first glimpse of Kalamazoo's newest member to the Penguin Clan. Eyewitness News at 6 coming up next.
Canada thistle, smartwood, when broadleaf weeds block your way to higher corn yields, overpower broadleaves. With Banville herbicide. Banville provides all the residual control you need to clear the way for higher corn yields. Overpower broadleaves with Banville herbicide.
Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Live from Minnesota's News Channel, KSTP Channel 5. Stan Turner, Ruth Spencer, Dave Dahl, and Mark Curtis bring you Eyewitness News at 6.
This is a live picture of the Uptown area in Minneapolis, where the protesters are snarling traffic for the second time in 2 nights. And in St. Paul, this is a protest against an X-rated theater. And this is a live picture, too. Our news crews are standing by, as you can see, to update both of these developing stories for us tonight. Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin with a protest in Minneapolis. Last night, as we showed you, demonstrations against U.S. military involvement in Central America led to 6 arrests in the Uptown area.
And what looks like a mixed bag of protesters is back again. Let's check that out. Let's go to Lou Harbin, live in Uptown right now. Lou, what is happening out there?
It's very hard to hear you, but right now there are about 300 people out here at the intersection of Hennepin and Lake, and they are still protesting what they call the unnecessary U.S. involvement in Honduras. Right now, about a block of the entire section around Hennepin and Lake is shut off right now. One group that is not demonstrating today, Women Against Military Madness. They say they are still very unhappy about what happened last night. Women Against Military Madness are embarrassed because they say this is not the message they wanted portrayed. Instead of making it a night to complain about the United States' involvement in Central America, it turned into a confrontation between police and troublemakers who set fire in dumpsters, stopped traffic, sprayed graffiti on businesses, police car no exception. Moira Moga, a member of WHAM, concedes her group had a hard time convincing teens and those called Twin City anarchists to leave last night. Avoiding this problem at future demonstrations is their bigger concern.
That is a problem, and it's what we are trying to really figure out, because we don't want to let ourselves be put in that position I just described of being arguing among the peace groups.
For that reason, WHAM members say they will not take part in any demonstrations that have been discussed for this afternoon. So far, there has been no violence or any property damage or anything like that, but the intersection is still shut off here at Hennepin Lake, and the police are staying away right now, saying they're just going to be calm, and if something happens, then they'll move in. Stan and Ruth? I'm sorry. Next we're going to go to a piece now from Jackie Renner, who was talking about some of the businesses earlier. They had some problems, and here's what they had to say.
Parts of last night's demonstration made Uptown merchants very nervous. After seeing property from the streets damaged, they wondered if their stores might be next. A few shopkeepers did end up scraping spray-painted graffiti off their windows. So this morning, the association Carrie DeWall represents asked police to protect storefronts if another demonstration took place.
I believe what was asked of them was that they provide some officers up here to more or less be in front of some of the store windows and business areas.
But police turned down the request, saying that type of presence might incite protesters. These main doors to Calhoun Square were locked at 6 o'clock last night. People could only get in or out through back doors. 2 hours later, at 8 o'clock, police asked all the shops to close up. Merchants say that cost them money, although they haven't calculated exactly how much. And store manager Michelle Cousins hopes it doesn't happen again tonight.
Because we'd lose business and we'd lose money. We need to stay open until 9 o'clock.
Yesterday's demonstration hurt business at Croissant Express as well, but manager John Upton's sympathies lie with protesters.
At least the people were doing something, and they were actively involved in it. Instead of standing by and not saying anything, like a lot of people become very complacent about it.
Police say they closed businesses to keep the public out of a potentially dangerous situation, and they wouldn't hesitate to do so again. Jackie Renner, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
All we can say right now is that if you're going to plan on coming to this area, it's best to stay away from Hennepin Lake tonight, because the block in every direction is shut off right now. The police are just standing by, and we're going to stay out here and let you know what happens tonight at 10 o'clock. Back to you, Stan and Ruth.
All right, Lou, thank you
Thanks,
very much. Well, there were hundreds of protesters clogging that Uptown area yesterday, bringing traffic to a halt. Police only arrested 6 people, and today those 6 were charged with disorderly conduct. It's a misdemeanor charge with a maximum sentence of 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $700.
As we told you on Live at 5, President Reagan's decision to send U.S. troops to Honduras is sparking many protests all around our country. So it's not surprising that Central American groups are rallying in smaller communities, like you see here in Duluth. At noon today, about 100 people gathered in the middle of downtown Duluth to sing songs, to chant slogans against the U.S. intervention. They represent a number of different groups who chose to protest peacefully. And as we told you just a few minutes ago, there is another protest going on right now in town. People from several St. Paul neighborhoods are rallying against an X-rated theater. Carolyn Buchter joins us live at University and Dale, where that protest is going on. Carolyn?
Thank you, Ruth. A lot of people, maybe about 75 people, have been gathered here since about 4 o'clock. They are outside the Faust Theater. They're protesting the existence of the Faust Theater and also the fact that the owners want to move to another area of University Avenue. There's been years of legal battles, and the city decided to buy out the Faust, hoping that the problems would end there, but they haven't. People in the neighborhood surrounding the proposed site are fighting the move, and the person galvanizing and organizing is a woman who decided she had to get involved because she doesn't want that where she lives. Family is very important to Mary Ann Jens, and just as important is the neighborhood where her family lives. She has lived in St. Paul's St. Anthony Park community for 10 years. The thought of an adult movie theater being several blocks from her home is unsettling.
I'm scared to death. I live in this neighborhood. I love this neighborhood.
In the last few weeks, Jens has held down her regular job, kept up with her college courses and the family. She's also pulled together a major protest, something she's never done before.
We have done networking through churches and colleges. There are people that have worked on extensive flyers and signing.
Jen says it's been intense but exciting, and that she's fully committed to doing whatever it takes within the law.
We just want to give the Faust people the message that, as far as we're concerned, they're not welcome in any neighborhood or any area that's near neighborhoods in St. Paul.
People are again listening right now to a few speeches and continuing to rally here. This is a bit of a unique protest in that picketers began at 4 this afternoon and they will be here until 2 in the morning. They'll come back again tomorrow at noon and stay till 2 in the morning again and then come right back on Sunday at noon. They hope to make sure that their message is heard.
A full weekend of protests in St. Paul. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Carolyn. When we come back here, we will tell you about the man on the loose police are calling a vicious rapist. We'll tell you what he looks like.
And then a little bit later on, we're going to take you to Lauderdale, but not the one you usually think of when it comes to a springtime vacation. Stay tuned.
See the clear difference between this lens and this lens, you should see the difference from in here.
The Pentax AR code, now at Benson Optical. This is a breakthrough. One leading corn soil insecticide says to apply in furrow for the best rootworm control. And leading universities say you get the best rootworm control with a banded application. We agree, because a T-band application of Lorsban 15G insecticide gives you the best of both. In-furrow application and banded. You get the best control of rootworms and other damaging insects. T-band Lorsban 15G. That's corn security.
Right now, everything's on sale at Levitt's. That's right, everything in Levitt's huge showroom has been reduced dramatically. But hurry, prices this low won't last long.
Why does Nissan call the new hard body special special? Because it has 10 special features, even an AM/FM stereo cassette system. And it's specially priced to save you $1,000. Now that's pretty special. Oh, we forgot something. Right now you can get $500 cash back from Nissan with the hard body special. So you save up to a total of $1,500.
See your nearby Twin Cities Nissan dealer for details.
The police are asking you to please help them find a man they think is responsible for a particularly vicious rape. Here's the police composite drawing of the man they are looking for. He's about 35 years old, about 5 feet 7 inches. He has brown hair and brown eyes. The man who raped a woman in the Gateway parking ramp cut her with a knife and then choked her until her voice box, her larynx, was fractured and she passed out. The police hope that they can find the attacker before he gets anyone else. So if you can help, please call the Minneapolis Police Department.
The man who is a longtime suspect in the serial murders of 3 American Indian women last year is being brought back to Minnesota. Billy Glaze has been jailed in Dallas County in Texas for a parole violation on a rape conviction, and Minneapolis homicide investigators have been trying to get Glaze back here to Minnesota ever since. Now they've filed papers to transfer Glaze to Minnesota on an unrelated federal charge, that charge of Social Security fraud. He will appear in court in Minneapolis March 29th and also be questioned by police about those murders. Well, when you fight City Hall, sometimes City Hall fights back. The city of Minneapolis has filed a countersuit against a man who's trying to preserve the Minneapolis Auditorium. Brett Smith wants a temporary restraining order halting the demolition of that building. Today, these workers were dismantling the Great Seal on the front of that building. The pieces will be crated up and stored until city officials decide what to do with it. In the meantime, the city's countersuit says it will only cost more money for the new convention center if Smith succeeds in delaying the project. Well, Smith says he's not worried about the $500,000 countersuit. Smith also rescheduled a hearing set for today on his request for that restraining order.
A state Senate Judiciary Committee has now flip-flopped on its view of a state constitutional amendment guaranteeing you the right to have a gun. Today, it defeated the bill it had earlier barely approved. The difference here? The powerful National Rifle Association lobby. NRA leaders had said that they agreed with an altered bill the committee had first passed, but then some committee members say they heard the NRA had decided that they did not agree with it. A few accused the NRA of playing games, so the committee reconsidered the bill today and voted it down. That vote was 12-4. It appears that much of the University of Minnesota's money scandal may now be over. An audit of the U's reserve funds is complete, and the school's new interim president says there are no new surprises. You recall that those reserve funds helped cover overruns for renovations at this mansion, East Cliff. Criticism of the $1.5 million spent on it led to Sunday's resignation by then University President Kenneth Keller. The new interim president, Richard Sauer, tells Eyewitness News he'll make details of this latest audit public next week.
The man who Fortune magazine calls Mr. Make Things Happen is busy making profits on his new book. Businessman Harvey McKay autographed copies of his new book at B. Dalton's in downtown Minneapolis today. The book is called Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. It has to do, of course, with making out over your competition. And to carry the book's theme, the store featured an aquarium full of exotic Asian sharks, as close as you'll get to seeing the perhaps the bigger version here in Minnesota.
All you need to know about great selection and low prices is here, inside the newest circular from True Value Hardware Stores. The Hardware Week circular offers the motion sensing outdoor security switch by RCA for just $34.88, or this Electropack shop fixture for only $8.88, and a Master Electrician Trouble light is just $5.99. For great prices and professional advice, shop at participating True Value Hardware Stores and tell them Pat Summerall sent you.
Come drive a Mazda.
The Mazda Deal-a-thon is on. Your Mazda dealer is making great deals on the greatest lineup of Mazdas ever, like the $59.99 Mazda 323, 626, MX-6 GT, and factory-to-dealer incentives can save you hundreds on Mazda trucks. The Mazda Deal-a-thon, come on.
Come drive a Mazda.
See your Mazda dealer in Richfield, Brooklyn Center, White Bear, St. Paul, and Minnetonka.
Easter is almost here, and Burlington Coat Factory is ready with a fabulous sale on children's clothes, like pretty spring dresses, lots of styles, 1/3 to 1/2 off Burlington's original low prices. Easter is almost here, and Burlington has the clothes boys need too, like this top-quality American-made suit, on sale at a remarkably low price, just $34.75. Easter is almost here. The time to get to Burlington Coat Factory is now.
From the Northland Ford Quality Showcase.
Looking for performance? Check out Ford. 87 Car of the Year intercooled Ford-injected Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Aerodynamic Pioneer, high output 2.3 liters, touring suspension, Tempo GL Sport. GT version of the world's bestseller, Hemi Head 1.9 multi-port injected Escort GT. The legend, Ford-injected V8, 5 liters, 225 horsepower Mustang GT. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, tonight, U of M students are cramming their cars full of beach blankets and suntan oil, heading for warmer climates. Yes, it is spring break time again. So today, we asked our very own Steve Hartman to take us to one of those college vacation hotspots.
Packed up, ready to go, everything set for a wonderful week in Miami Beach, Daytona, Lauderdale. Lauderdale, I said. Why would a college kid want to go to Lauderdale for spring break? So we took the short drive up 280 to find out for ourselves. Welcome to Lauderdale, Minnesota.
This must be the place to be.
Must be. But you know, we looked all over Lauderdale and could not find one college kid. Found some signs of spring, some ducks, flowers, but no tourists. Thought maybe Dave Hendricks would know of some. You see, Lauderdale doesn't have a beach. Dave's pool is the closest thing. There's no beach, right?
No.
This is all they have. Do you let him in the pool?
No. The dog goes in the pool once in a while in the wintertime.
That's it?
That's it.
No kids?
No kids.
Dave thought we might have better luck down the street, where the warm Lauderdale sun was setting over the Rose Hill Dairy Store. It's one of the only places in Lauderdale where a college kid can buy a beer. They even sell suntan lotion. See it there? Above the dye gel. Back behind the Tums and Rolaids, there you go. 3 whole bottles. Good stuff, too.
Just seems to give him a little faster tan.
Still, Jerry Sventek says he's had no buyers, no sun seekers, no college kids. I guess maybe they're all in Fort Lauderdale. Oh well, Dave Hendricks doesn't care. He says he'd rather keep this Lauderdale his own little vacation secret. In Lauderdale, Minnesota, Steve Hartman, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Too much snow and cold in those pictures in Lauderdale, Minnesota.
Spring.
Here's the sunshine, right?
Yeah,
Look what spring did in
sure sign of
California.
spring, just like robins are a sure sign of spring.
Monsters, aren't
These are California-grown strawberries, and that is definitely a sign of spring. And over 200 million people in the United States eat these guys every year. And of all of the strawberries eaten in the United States, 75% are California-grown. And they're perfect. They got a bumper crop this year because they had an early spring.
Takes two men and a small boy. Yep.
You might
We'll
guess
mind
to
these for you while you're over there.
Unfortunately, another sign of spring is the onslaught of severe weather, and we're going to have tornado preparedness week next week. But this is also, this date is the anniversary of the most deadly tornado ever in the United States. Yes, that occurred, and 695 lives were claimed back in 1925 on this date. The ground, it covered 219 miles from Missouri all the way to Indiana. That was from 1 to 4 o'clock. Tornado Preparedness Week, once again, starts next week. We're going to be giving a tornado tip each night. An Eyewitness News update at 10 o'clock. Severe weather has not been noticed across the country this evening, this afternoon. Just showers and thunder showers, some of which have been heavy, though, across the northern part of Florida, from there up through the eastern seaboard. But most of that shower activity is now going to be pushing off the seaboard. But we're expecting to see a little bit of snow mixed in with that from Virginia back through Tennessee and Kentucky. Otherwise, back in the middle part of the country, just partly cloudy skies, no real active weather here. We're expecting to see the clouds up there in western Canada gradually filter in our direction, and we will see an increase in cloud cover during the nighttime hours tomorrow night on into Sunday, and temperatures will remain cool across most of the upper Midwest. Outside at the airport right now, our temperature is up there at 33, just a slight bit above freezing. The dew point now at 14, 45%. With a relative humidity, a northwest wind at 12, and the barometric pressure is falling at 30.05 inches. We do have partly cloudy skies. Today's high temperature up to 35, low this morning 24, and no snowfall officially out at the airport. High temperatures around the Observer Network, mainly in the mid-30s. The warm spots, Molly Brown up in Osceola at 39, Ev Smith down in Bloomington, he also at 39 degrees. The real weather maker for tomorrow, though, is going to be a storm system up to our north and west, and that'll gradually filter some warmer air in this direction. Maybe some light snow and flurries, but high temperatures only in the upper 20s for tomorrow, so chillier highs. Not bad on the East Coast, except it will be wet. 40 degrees for a high in New York. Forecast for the Twin Cities. Partly cloudy. Lows tonight should be in the teens. Northwest winds at about 10 to 15. A little chilly by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Right around 18 degrees with a partly sunny sky. Those clouds thickening up a bit. Mixture of sun and clouds by the afternoon, 25 to 30. Still a strong northwest wind up to 20. For Saturday night into Sunday, mostly cloudy. Lows in the teens there. Sunday, here comes a chance of light snow and flurries. And remember, that's the first day of spring. High temperatures then, only 25 to 29. Looking ahead then a little bit further, for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it is going to feel like spring for the first week of spring. High temperatures into the 40s. I thought I'd come back to an empty box, but nope.
Size of a canned ham, ladies and
You have
gentlemen.
to cut them in half with a fork and knife there.
I think we got to move ahead. You eat them up, kids. Still ahead in sports, we will take you inside the sports show, inside at the Metrodome.
And a small school turns out to be Indiana's Temple of Doom at the NCAA tournament. Mark Stevens has it all next.
Patty Schoenfeld is deaf, but an IBM computer lets her talk on the phone. Art Sweet is almost blind, but can read a bank statement. And Madge Pentecost has trouble using her arms, but uses a computer by aiming an infrared beam. IBM provides information about special equipment like this, so more people with disabilities can use their abilities. Write IBM Box C-1030, Atlanta, Georgia.
Is there over $1,730 worth of difference between the 1988 Chevrolet Beretta ST and the comparably equipped 1988 Chrysler LeBaron? Both are top of the line with the most popular features. But is there $1,732 worth of difference? Nope. Turn out the lights, LeBaron. The party's over. There's a new winner on the block. It's Chevrolet for quality and satisfaction at a great price. Chevy Beretta ST at your Twin Cities area Chevy team.
This is the crust of an ordinary frozen pizza, where they put a little sauce, a little cheese, and a little meat. This is the crust of a double-top pizza from Tombstone, where we put a lot of sauce, a lot of cheese, and a lot of meat. Then we top it again. Because on Double Top, we double the cheese, double the meat for double the taste. So you can have this much pizza or this much pizza. Double Top Pizza from Tombstone. More of what you buy a pizza for.
Dayton's anniversary sale is on now. It's one of the only sales you'll find while the season is still new. With savings on all the season's freshest arrivals, you'll find spring in every department. But hurry, because you may not see another sale like this until the season's over. Dayton's Anniversary Sale.
We have a switcheroo going on. One Mark goes on vacation and another Mark returns from vacation. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's a rough business, isn't it? Lots of vacations. And
Actually, it is a rough business.
there's a basketball coach that's going on vacation, too. He doesn't want to, but he has to. You see, Hartford, Connecticut may be the insurance capital of the United States, but it turned out to be a major liability for the Indiana Hoosiers. You see, this afternoon in Hartford, the Hoosiers' time as NCAA champion lapsed with tiny Richmond, the benefactor. They upset Bobby Knight and his defending champ 72-69 the final today. The Hoosiers had a 1-point lead with 50 seconds left, but Rodney Rice drilled that jumper. It gave Richmond the lead. Rice finished with 21s today. Now, Indiana missed its chance to take the lead. The Spiders capitalized. A wide-open basket. They lead the game by 3. The Hoosiers, though, they get one final 3-point try to tie it. Joe Hillman is off, and the game ends with Richmond winning at 72-69. The upset means we will have a new NCAA champion for 1988. Also in the East today, Georgia Tech took care of Iowa State. In the Southeast, it's Villanova over Arkansas. Illinois is an 81-72 winner over Texas San Antone. Out west, Arizona, that's why they're number 1, 90-50. Seton Hall won today 80-64. In the Midwest, Pittsburgh, no trouble with Eastern Michigan, and Vanderbilt does away with Utah State. That old Edina Magic continued this afternoon at the Girls State High School basketball tournament. The Hornets advanced to the finals with a come-from-behind win over Stillwater today. Edina trailed it by 9 in the second half, but number 52, Katie Riley, sparked an 18-2 run. She had 9 points in that big second half, leading the Hornets to their come-from-behind win over Stillwater in the Class A semis, 62-55 the final score. They now advance to tomorrow's championship game. Rosemont is also headed to that title game. They beat Hutchinson. Nicole Johnson hits the basket here, gets the foul. The three-point play put Rosemont ahead to stay. Johnson scored 15 on the day. Rosemont went on to beat Hutch this afternoon 40-35. It's their first trip ever to the state tourney. Now, the Class A semifinals will be tonight at the Met Center. Storden Jeffers will play St. Bernard's, and Tracy Milroy goes up against New London Spicer. Case of the L.A. Blues for the Twins this afternoon. The Dodgers pounded the Twins 12-0 in Orlando. Lenny Matuzik's 3-run homer highlighted an 8-run second inning for the Dodgers. Les Straker got pounded. He took the loss. Thankfully, though, this game only went 7 innings. They had rain in Florida. Back home, it's just about play ball time for the Gopher baseball team. The Gophers have been practicing indoors since January. This Sunday, they'll be playing outdoors in Phoenix, facing Southern Utah State. As they head into their first game, Coach John Anderson likes his team's experience, especially because his whole pitching staff's coming back.
It's the first time I've had that luxury. They led the Big Ten in team pitching as an ERA, and it's an older staff with 2 seniors and 2 juniors as far as starters and a good depth behind it. So I think what we really try to do is refine our skills this winter. We have a returning club defensively and just try to really get a little bit better and improve our skills over last year so we can have a little better season.
Now, the pitches have started at the Metrodome. No, we're not talking about baseball there just yet. These are sales pitches for the latest on boats and baits, and if you buy something, big bills. Yes, folks, the 56th annual sports show's here. Turn the dome into a sportsman's paradise. If you want to see fish, they got a huge tank full. If you want to catch fish this coming season, they have lures they say will fill up your stringer. One of the latest is this one. It's called a shadling. Fish pro Art Perry says this one's hot. How hot?
These things are so good. If people don't catch any fish on, I'll give them their money back. I'm serious. They come in 18 different colors and sizes. We have shallow runners, deep runners. Every one of them is made especially to catch fish.
Remember, he said if you don't catch any,
I know, I heard that.
Money back.
All right.
Strikers play at Tacoma tonight.
Okay, lures. A guarantee on lures. Thank you, Mark. Have you all ever seen a baby penguin? For just a moment now, we're going to show you his proud parents only and keep you guessing what he looks like. Stay tuned, though, for a look at the cutest little penguin in town.
Welcome to Iowa, where Sunday is celebrated with 2 well-loved traditions. One is Sunday service. The other is Sunday dinner. In Iowa, people understand the importance of time spent with family and friends. For over 50 years, Iowa has been the home of Dubuque ham and the inspiration for the good, honest flavor Dubuque brings to your table. Welcome to Iowa, And welcome to Dubuque.
The Highland two-day sale. This Friday and Saturday, every Highland Superstore will look like this. Because during Highland's two-day sale, there'll be incredible bargains throughout every store. Friday and Saturday, this GE portable color TV with automatic color control is just $136. Highland's two-day sale. You've got 2 whole days to save, but you'd better hurry, because when prices are this low, time flies.
When you compare the Lincoln Town Car to the Cadillac Brougham, you'll find that the Town Car costs more. But traditionally, Cadillac returns more of its original value. Wait, the Lincoln costs more when you buy it, but Cadillac holds its original value better? Why would anybody choose a Town Car over the Cadillac Brougham? It just doesn't add up.
Especially now, if you purchased and took retail delivery of a 1979 through 1987 Cadillac or Lincoln, you get $1,250 cash back on a new Brougham. See your Cadillac dealer today.
What do the pros fill up with?
Well, for me, performance and dependability are everything. I mean, slow starts and hesitation may be okay for dancing, but driving? No way. This Fina Super Unleaded keeps my fuel system as clean as polished chrome. And that extra power. Whew.
Well, that's quite an endorsement from a pro race car driver.
Race car driver? I drive carpool 5 times a week.
Fina, you got a friend.
Finally tonight, we have the cutest little guy to show you. Dave, no, not Dave. He's new to St. Paul. Right.
And he is the pride and joy of the Como Zoo. Just take a look at this baby penguin. He's 9 days old. He's a South African Blackfoot penguin. Actually, we shouldn't call him a he because the zoo experts can't tell what sex he is yet. Denny Trenner is the man you see giving the little fella his dinner with expert care. And just listen to him squawk for more.
Sounds pretty healthy, doesn't it? Now, we would like to update you on our lead story tonight. That's the demonstration going on at Hennepin Lake, the demonstration against U.S. troops in Honduras. Lou Harvin's out there right now. Lou, what's the latest, please?
Stan, as soon as we had finished our live remote at the top of the show, the crowd broke up. They figured they made their point. They're still against all the American activity and what's going on in Honduras. Traffic appears to be